Scott Monkern again, here with another review. This is a game I got a while ago, not a while ago, but maybe about a month ago. I want to plug it because I thought it was so good. It's actually an expansion for Stockpile Continuing Corruption. If you haven't ever played Stockpile, if you're looking for a fun stock trading game, it's a great game. It's basically a card game mostly, where it's information trading and information sharing and stock buying, so on and so forth. It's a really good game. And there are lots of reviews for Stockpile out there, and I would say if you're looking for a truly accurate stock simulation, probably not the best game in the world for you, but if you're just looking for a really fun, easy, quick game, which has stock trading in it, it's a blast. It plays well. It's got an interesting combination of insider information and public information and just information that nobody knows about. Each stock goes up and down each turn. Some people know what's going to happen on specific stocks, and some stocks nobody knows what's going to happen. So really cool game, interesting card mechanics, a really easy to use board. So I really like it a lot. And then this summer they did the expansion, Continuing Corruption. And I want to talk about what it is because I think it's kind of a neat idea, and I've seen this several places. And the idea is it's not like a whole bunch of stuff you add at once. It's a bunch of individual modules. There's 4 of them actually that you can add to the game, and you can add all of them or you can add none of them. I'm going to talk about each of them and talk about what they are. And so it kind of reminds me. I know I tend to reference viticulture a lot because I like it a lot. I play it fairly frequently. If you play Tuscany. And bought Tuscany, same idea where you've got a bunch of expansions and you can pick and choose. Now, it's not nearly as comprehensive. Tuscany is hugely comprehensive. It's got like 20 different modules you can add. Some I like, some I didn't like so much. All of the modules here I like, but I want to go ahead and talk about each of the modules and what they are. The first module, and probably the module people will do first, is the forecast dice. Now, the way it worked under the old system was you had 6 companies and you had 6 cards saying whether or not the stock went up and down. And basically, during each round, each company would get one of the cards, which meant that you always knew that there were going to be some companies that were going to go up, there were some companies that were going to go down, and some would stay the same, some would issue dividends, but it's always the same. And honestly, it got a little bit dull after a while. You know that, well, someone's going to go up to and someone's going to go down to, and it always stayed the same. With the forecast dice, you get these dice that have plus numbers and minus numbers and bond numbers on them, and you roll 6 of them, roll these 6 dice, and then it tells you what cards to pull out of the deck and then assign them. Now, I like the idea of the dice. I thought that was very cool. It was kind of a little bit cumbersome at first to say, okay, I need the +2 and I need the -2 and I need this and I need this, get that together, shuffle it, and hand them out. A little bit cumbersome. I might have done it a little bit differently. I would have done the forecast dice and then simply stacked the companies together and said, okay, the first die goes to this company, the second die goes to this company, the third die goes to this company, and assign them. That's a little bit of a problem with the insider trading information. You could use tokens. Tokens would work better. Just have the tokens 1 through 6. There we go. I would say, okay, the first die goes to this company, so on and so forth. So, that information, that was one thing. Really good idea. Forecast dice, a lot of fun. A little bit cumbersome. You have to get used to it. Second one, bonds. Now, bonds kind of add an interesting feature where instead of spending your money on stocks like you do in the original game, you can choose to spend it on bonds. And the way bonds work is they pay you money out every turn, and then at the end of the game, you get your money back that you spent on the bonds. So it's kind of guaranteed revenue. A really interesting way to go. Bonds add an interesting color because you can essentially ensure that you have money to spend every single turn, which I thought was neat. So that's that. Commodities and taxes, we're going to add essentially the Chicago commodities market is the way I looked at it, where there on your stockpiles, if you're familiar with the game, you add one more card to each stack, and it's a commodity, and the commodity is a set collection where you're trying to collect different types of sets of things. So we've added set collection kind of the mix, which is neat. The other thing they added was more investors. If you remember the original game, you could, as one of the advanced options, you could have advanced, in the advanced rules, you could give everybody an investor. This just adds more of them with more flavor. They kind of modernized them and gave you ones they hadn't before. Um, if you're someone who likes kind of character sheet kind of stuff and special powers for me but not anybody else, good. It's certainly a good expansion, a good module to add. For Euro gamers who believe in the concept of everybody starts out exactly the same and then we all move forward, not quite such a good option. I liked it. It was kind of fun. Um, involved a lot of kind of fun jokes along the way. They are all parodies on names. So it's a lot of fun. So all in all, they kickstarted it. I don't know whether they're actually selling it yet or not. We'll have to find out. I think they are. Definitely worth the buy. Definitely worth the purchase, particularly if you're a Stockpile fan. Now, if you didn't like the original Stockpile, do not think this is going to fix the game. There are some games, like, I'll tell you, King of Tokyo, a lot of people didn't like the original game. When the expansions came out with the powers, they really liked the game. This is not going to fix the game for you. This is just new stuff. So, that's it. Okay. I hope you enjoy Stockpile Continuing Corruption.